How was the New Testament compiled? Have you ever wondered how the New Testament came to be? This fascinating journey began during the time of the Roman Empire and unfolded over several centuries. The process started with early Christian communities writing individual texts. Among these were the four Gospels: Mark, Matthew, Luke, and John, along with letters mainly attributed to the Apostle Paul. These writings were created between approximately 70 Anno Domini and 120 Anno Domini, with the Gospel of Mark likely being the first, written around 70 Anno Domini. Initially, these texts circulated independently among various Christian groups spread across the Roman world. There was no single collection or canon of Christian writings accepted universally during the first 3 centuries. Different communities recognized different texts as authoritative, leading to some texts being disputed or rejected by certain groups. Around 140 Anno Domini, Marcion proposed an early attempt to define a Christian canon. He included a modified version of the Gospel of Luke and 10 letters from Paul, while entirely rejecting the Jewish scriptures. This proposal sparked controversy and prompted other Christian leaders to consider which writings should be regarded as authoritative. By the late 2nd century, Christian leaders began to treat these writings as scripture alongside the Jewish scriptures, moving towards a Bible that included both the Old and New Testaments. Ecclesiastical writers started listing accepted texts, reflecting decisions that had been developing over the previous decades. The canonization process involved assembling smaller collections of texts rather than gathering individual books one by one. These mini-collections included the Pauline epistles, which were widely circulated and read in churches, the four Gospels, and the Catholic epistles, which addressed broader Christian audiences. The books of Acts and Revelation were also included, standing somewhat apart from these collections. The formal recognition of the New Testament canon took place in the late 4th century. Church councils held in the Western Roman Empire, notably the councils of Hippo in 393, Anno Domini, and Carthage in 397, Anno Domini, ratified the list of 27 books that now make up the New Testament. This list was later reaffirmed by the Council of Trent in 1546 Anno Domini. From the perspective of ancient Rome, this process reflected the growing influence of Christianity within the empire, especially after Emperor Constantine's reign. Following the Council of Nicaea in 325 Anno Domini, Constantine commissioned Eusebius to compile accepted Christian scriptures for display in churches. This marked a significant moment where Christianity's texts began to be standardized under Roman imperial support. In summary, the New Testament was compiled through a gradual process of writing, circulation, recognition, and formal ratification. The canon as recognized today was settled by the end of the 4th century, reflecting a consensus that had emerged over the preceding centuries.